Hey guys, Tony the SoySauceAssassin here, and I think everybody is super excited today, including me, because I just got this on my hand. What is this? What is this? Oh yeah, the light's kind of Look at this. Now, you probably will not be able to tell the how ginormous this thing is, but yeah, let's get started. Since this is gonna be recorded, put it on there, so let's get started.
Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make.
Okay, so some music. All right, how's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. You'll be here for a while. Okay, so I figure I come up and give you guys some more details on this particular cigars, and of course I get message as soon as I start it. Let me respond to that. Okay, and need more sleep, but anyways. Let's see, we have William, we have Love Hunting Elk, and Ronnie, Marlon, Jason, and Jeff, and Dongyang. There we go. So, yes, it is 5x60. So I think that qualifies to be a Toro. So yeah, you probably are wondering why didn't I do it earlier, like the live, because I say I was getting ready, because I was updating our new home, some software and stuff like that had to update, so I decided to update it, and give myself some time to put lunch in my stomach, so I can smoke. So why am I keep getting messages? Okay. Change it ID once. There we go. Come over to the Twitch dark side. So I got some more information on this particular cigar. The all other little teeny tiny informations. Well, it's a Robusto Gordo, but the thickness, it really depends how you want to classify it, because you can, I think it's closer to a Gordo than a Robusto, because usually a Toro will be like 6x56 or 6x54, and this is 5x60, so it's really kind of thick to be a Robusto. So I would think that is Toro, but let me see. I mean, it could be Gordo, because Gordo means fat, but yeah, I mean, Gordo has to be 6 to 7 inches as well. So let me see if there's something that to classify. Size. Why am I typing weird today? Alright, Toros are usually 6 inches as well. So I guess this is like an odd size. Robusto. Robusto had to be 5.5. 5.5 and under 58 ring gauge. A fat Robusto is 4.5 to 5. So I guess, yeah, you're right. It could probably consider as a fat Robusto. but you know the size depends how you gotta say it. So I guess yeah, you can consider this as a fat robusto, or a short toro, or a gordo, like however you wanna call it. But yeah, I mean if I do, because the size range they're kind of right in between. Robusto, gordo. No, Robusto Gordo had to be 5.5 inches. Robusto Gordo had to be 5.5 inches. So, you know, I can say it's like between sizes. It depends who you're asking, I guess. It depends who you ask. I go by the thickness, not necessarily be the length, because you can cut down length, you can smoke in length, but that doesn't change anything. So I go by the thickness. So the thickness going specific sizes, I call that like specific. So this is like, if this is any longer, this is definitely a Toro, right? So we should call this the killer size. Anyway, so you know the blend. It is a Havana 2000 wrapper. Havana 2000 wrapper. Okay, and then the binder is Criollo 98. And then the filler is DR Dominicano, and then we have Nicaraguan, and it has Seco Cubano. And this thing is aged for about 4 years. Alright, about 4 years, maybe almost 5, but about 4 years. So, but like, I'm pretty sure Big Journey. Journey is smaller than this, but longer. Journey is smaller than this, but longer. So I know you guys want to see this whole thing like in close and up close and everything, but here it is. Oh my god, ah. This thing has a serious woodsy oak wood, you know, cabinet smell. Like almost like a, smells like aged wine cabinet or aged bookseller or something like that. And this band, holy shit, is no kidding. Holy shit, is no kidding. This band, you cannot imagine how big this band is until you put it against something else. Okay, you can see this band probably is more than 1/3 of this cigar. More than 1/3 of this cigar. Okay, this thing is crazy how big this is. Now, I wanted to give you a comparison on how big this band actually is. So here's in comparison to a Filthy Hooligan band. Alright? That's how tiny a Filthy Hooligan band looks like after you put it right next to it. Okay? Here is comparison to an actual Perdomo band. See how tiny the Perdomo band is right next to it? Not even close. Okay? Just as some comparison, let me just grab some band that's on my table and just show it to you guys, okay? Alright, here's compared to it, the Edge 10 band, okay? See this? Here's Casa Cueva's band, like half the size. Casa Cueva's band is about half the size. Half the size. Okay? And then we have, let's see if there's any other band I can show it to you guys that's big. Get out of there. Come on. Alright. Here is the distillery band from Camacho, right next to it. It's smaller than our band. Alright. Smaller. The Camacho distillery band is smaller than our band. Okay, no kidding, okay? Our band is that big. That big. It's huge. It's huge. It's bigger than my thumb. My entire thumb. It's bigger than my entire thumb. That's how big this band is. It's like no joke. If you go out there and have this on your hand, holy shit. Holy shit. This, like, you know, how much detail is needed. How big this had to be to put those details on there. Alright, Camacho has got nothing on it. Camacho, like, this thing eats Camacho for breakfast. And then some. Okay, that's how big our band is. You know what? Let me measure it for you guys. I don't know how big it is, really. Shove this back in there. Shove it in, shove it in. Shove it in. You guys are not worthy. You stay in there. And let's see if I can find a ruler. Of course, when you need a ruler is not available until I look for it. Where's the ruler? Ah, there it is. Alright. I will say it's 2.25. 2.25 inches. 2.25 inches at the longest point. 2.25 inches just on the band. On the band. Okay. Oh my god. Like, you tell me that if this was in the store, you won't pick one up just to try it. Alright, you will. I know I will. You definitely will. If this thing was sitting over there in a group like this, nicely in a box, you will pick it up just for the heck of it. Hey, James. Alright, you will, because I know I will. So yeah, that's the way it is. This is good. I'm gonna smoke it. I'm kind of feel bad smoking it, but I'm gonna smoke it. You know, I feel bad because I'm gonna smoke it, and you don't get to smoke it, but I'm gonna smoke it. Oh, this thing is so big that the cutter might have a little trouble cutting. Yep, the cutter will have trouble cutting this. The cutter, this is so big. Nice. Alright, let's see. Ooh. Alright. Okay. A lot of bits because I cut this so deep. I gotta make sure I get a good drop. Spicy. Right away spicy. Because there's a lot of hybrid leaves in here. So you're gonna taste kind of multiple different kind of stuff. Which is normal. Yeah, it's triple cap. The third cap is kind of weird. 1, 2, and the one I cut off. I think that's triple cap. Hold on. What's the ring gauge? 60. 60 ringgit. You go out to smoke this thing, you are like a boss. Okay? I'm trying to see if it's triple cap. One, two, and three. It is triple cap, but it's like a sloppy triple cap. So like they're not like that apparent, but if you count them, they will be like 2 or 3. All right, so I'm gonna. So peppery, a little bit of raisiny, like kind of raisin grapey, like a plumish, and then you get. You kind of get a little bit sweetness too. All right, you kind of get a little bit sweetness. You know, I just wanted to say, hey, Brendan, you know, you rep a lot of cigar, other cigar company. If the cigar company makes cigar for our group, we'd love to buy it too. Oh, okay. Anyways. Let's do this. Light it up. The blends form. Well, Havana 2000 is kind of like a hybrid. Criollo 98 is also a hybrid. And then the filler is Dominican, Nicaraguan, and Seco Cubano, which is a hybrid. So. Why can't you get video to stream on Twitch? Twitch is fine with everybody else. You know why? It's because your connections suck where you're at. Yeah, slowly toast this thing. Even though this this vertical lighter is like burning my hand. Oh, what company is that? Ooh. This is really hot for running that big a fire. Yeah, we heard about that. You told us that. Sweet, a little bit dryness, a little bit of cedar and woodiness, a little bit of spice, just a tad of pepper. Yep, you can taste that like that aged woodness. So, ooh, somebody's putting EPC on. Okay. Brendan's like, you know, it's crazy. It's like I'm gonna drop one brand to ease my production. And then I'm gonna add another even bigger brand to make my production even harder. That's what he basically did. That's it. The draw is great. Just a tad tighter draw than what I like. But I like super loose draw. This should have some stuff to it. It's gonna, yeah, that's the thing. He dropped one to make it easier, and then he brought up an even bigger company, EPC, to make it harder. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Ooh, it's really good. Anyways, so, you know, Brendan, you should talk to those cigar company to make our next cigars. Short, like, just needs a small group round of cigars. But congratulations on the EPC. That's pretty cool. Now we have to smoke those. On the website, you might have some issue a few minutes ago because I was working on the website, so it's kind of ain't. 500 is almost too few, but yet we haven't even run out of 500 yet. So it sounds like a lot, but it's not really a lot. You know, it's like, you know, 500. We don't feel a 500, so. Brenda, you've been saying that. You've been saying that you've been hiring, but no weight is off your shoulder. And I can tell you, even if you hire somebody, you still gotta babysit those people, so you will never get time. It's a good cigar. It's a good cigar. In terms of strength, I think it's right now. It's a mile plus. It's a mile plus. Oh yeah, it burns nice. It burns nice. I mean, I was going at it too, so. We don't have the box made. You say in the box, I don't know how many is the box. 10 in the box? We don't have the box made. I can't find anybody that was willing to make 20 boxes. Or maybe 30 boxes. Here we go. See? It's all about your connection, Brendan. It's all about your connection. The ash is super white. It's actually pretty cool. Yeah, you get a little bit of like the barnyard grapevineness to it too. The plummy and the grapevineness kind of gets on the back of this. And it depends how fast you're smoking too, so. I was connected to Winter's Wi-Fi. Rosa Cuba. Okay. So yeah, I mean this, oh my god. This pen, I almost feel bad using it. Holy shit. Holy shit. Well, I have a total of 6 of this on hand. So what happened is there are a few people that's gonna secretly get these cigars in their mailbox before I head to China. Just so you guys know, some people is gonna secretly get these on hand to play with before this actually goes on. So you guys probably gotta ask, how do you get these? You guys already fill up the form, right? The page to pre-order them. What happens? I'm gonna make it into Excel sheet, and I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna give it to Nolo or Bendito. And then basically he's gotta get back to you guys with payment information, and they'll send it to you guys. With the exception of Jeff and James, which I will be sending them, so I will grab them and send them. Why does some member have icon badge reaction there? That's the OG icon. So if you have OG, you have an icon. If you don't have OG, you don't have an icon. The icon, if you hover right next to it, they tell you what it's for. We don't have the box made yet. If we're gonna make it, it'll be a future project. I had to find people that makes boxes. I don't know who can make boxes for us. To be really honest with you, I don't know. I don't know who can make the boxes. Okay. The flavor is actually pretty consistent. Burn is pretty good. Except Menace here because I burned it a little bit more when I was torching it. But look at the side. It's all good. Maybe my clock. How many boxes do we need? Probably 15, 20 of those, if not more. To fit 5 of these. Or maybe 10 of these in a box. You know, I would prefer to fit 5 in there because the majority of people is getting 5. So, majority of people is getting 5. We can do 5 or 10. Oh, the icons on Twitch is because Michael Wells just throw everybody membership, subscribers membership. That's why they have icons. Yeah, well, yeah. If Brendan can find us, 5-count box needs 20 boxes. I'm pretty sure we need. Like if we got 10, we can do 10, but I think majority of people will be 5. So. Well, if Brendan knows where to make these boxes, we'll make them. We'll make them. See, yeah, it's not that simple because when you try to ask people to make the sizes, they're hard. So these are, well, according to, it's 5 by 60. 5 by 60. So, if you fit 5, 10, oh my god. So good. Really? Well, you let us know. If we can make it, we'll make it. Yeah. Wells is on another rampage. Here's the problem. When you have a gigantic band, it doesn't take a lot to get to the band. It doesn't take a lot to get to the band. So, let's see. Oh, yeah. What do you guys think? Ah, beautiful. Let's see if I can, it's not focusing, so I don't know. It would be pretty cool to get Gran Habano to make our cigar, though. Haha, you can always make a WWF. You mean the Wildlife Foundation? Let's see if I can get the focus to do focus. There we go. Let's see if I can do focus again. There we go, right here. And I just have to focus. There we go. Oh yeah. Like it almost make it look like a comic look shade to it because the shine and the lift. You almost have the like a comic drawing shape to it. Like almost like man. You know, if what's that thing called? If Punisher never existed and they decide to use this logo, you would think that's the Punisher logo. Very smooth. It's sweet, but it ends with a subtle bitter note. Not crazy bitter note, but subtle bitter note. And then you get a little bit of the tobacco flavor. You can kind of tell the Nicaraguan in there. Smoke output is pretty good. I don't know if you can see the here. Smoke output is pretty good. It's hard to see. You know, everything's white, so it's hard to see. But yeah, it's a big one though. It's a big one. Yeah. Yeah, like Martin Amaya said, you can call this a Robusto Gordo, or you can call it short Robusto, or you can call it fat Robusto, or you can call it, you know, there's so many different names that you can fit in between the names. So I don't think that matters to most people. For me, you know, if it's thick enough, it's a Toro. I don't care how short it is, because when it's like this long, it's still a Toro thickness. So you're still getting that kind of tobacco to you, you know. This is definitely not 1 to 2 hours smoke, because how short it is. I think it's gotta be just along the way of a Robusto plus few minutes. Yeah, you light this up in the casino. People was like, you know, when you just light this up and go all in, people was like, I fold. It's the ash is so white. Like I'm having yellow background light right now. This is how white it is. This look is pretty good. Yeah, I think it's a good time to have a cigar today. I was looking at tickets to fly to China quickly. So expensive. So expensive. I'm trying to debate if I'm gonna leave Monday or Tuesday. I don't know which time I'm gonna leave yet. I did thought about do a review pre-recorded video on this cigar, but I think Martin Amaya does a better job, so he can do it. Okay, Martin Amaya can do it when he have the cigar or something. You know, who maybe Bob the Cigar Guy or something like that, they can do the cigar because they're much better at recording pre-recorded videos and much more accurate assessment of a cigar than me. I'm just like, this is how I feel about a cigar. Yes and no. That's pretty much it. You know. But I did want to get you guys to. Brendan, is there ever a time where you don't got shit to do? Talk to you later, Brendan. Keep up. Oh, okay. Keep us updated on that EPC, man. Once you have it all set up and everything. And let us know about the box. We need to know about that box. Yeah, I always got something to do. You never have time. Go get the permit. Permit's more important. So yeah, I mean, I'm very excited about this. I mean, this thing right here. There we go. If we can get a box, you know, great. If not, we'll eventually do box, okay? If Brendan couldn't get it done, eventually I'll go find someone that will make a coffin for it, so that you can keep at least one. But I think Brendan can get us some boxes. Alright, so hopefully we'll get that done. Just make sure you guys have enough cigars to put in those boxes. You even got a nap in, really? Okay. No, we'll make sure to get a box as part of the project for someone, you know, because I know the first time around we did find a way to get a box, even though it's not a perfect fit box, but still have a box. So this one I still want to do a box. If we can't find a box eventually, we'll just do a single coffin. You'll still be able to fit one in there. So you know, you just have to worry about whether or not you have leftover cigars to put in there to store. Because I know that there's only 500 and there's no more. There's no more. It's even shorter than short runs. It's even shorter than short runs. I think the short run Obrigado only have 1800 sticks. We only have 500. So even shorter run than short runs. It makes perfect sense if we can get a 10 stick box. That way you can put all the other stick in there, but I think it'll be like long and short. So if we're gonna do a 10 stick box, you have to be at least 6 inches long, because Journey is 6 inches long. So if you want to fit Journey in there, like if we were to release 10 cigars, then you can put in all 10 in one box eventually. But I don't know. That could be an idea to do a box that's just for the Shadow Smokers Legion like limited edition ones. We can release 10. Amazon. Yeah, how much money are you guys willing to pay for a box? I mean, I'm pretty sure we can get everything done so long as we can pay for it, you know what I'm saying? Alright. But these are unfinished. How do we get them finished? These are more like humidor than a box. This doesn't even have, like, I don't know. I really don't know. Who's Vic HDM? Yeah, like for these, I'm looking at it. I don't even think this is a good choice, because it's not like, it's not made correctly. That's like me getting any box and just throw it in there. You know. We could ask him, but I don't think he had the time to do it though, because he doesn't make the box. He make the wood. thingy-majigger. I don't know. High Desert Man, right? We can ask him. We can ask him. We can ask him. So we should tag High Desert Man on this. High Desert Man, hey, I know we know you do awesome woodwork, which especially with your thing, for the cigar things. So if you can make a custom box for our cigars, we'll buy it. Just let us know. Throw me a message. Put a message below. But we're not retailer, and we're so much better. We're not retailer, but we always try to do the impossible. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we find that way. So. Yeah, have them to make like some SSL limited edition box, and then we just toss all the cigar that we make from there, that point on in there. That would be pretty cool. I think that would be pretty cool. Okay, almost halfway and then ash fell down. Did you guys hear the thump that ash came down? It's like gadung. This ash is heavy. Gadung. Probably not me. I'm probably very busy second half this year, especially with all these things going on. I have to scramble my travel time again. I had to scramble my travel time. Yeah, somebody go to Instagram or something and tag High Desert Man. Or have Martin and Maya go contact High Desert Man because I know they're nearby. Martin, if you're still on, didn't even say bye, but if you're still on, contact High Desert Man to see if he can make some limited edition boxes for us. And then we'll just do a group buy so that, you know, he can have exact amount how many he had to make and send out. Alright, Jeff. Behave. Next time when you share memes, you take screenshots. Because I click all of them, they all have links on them. Oh, this is good. This is good. It's got like a subtle notes to it, and it has a little bit of like grape raisin notes to it too. So it's very enjoyable, and I think the strength is about light to medium, but I think it's closer to medium in the second half. So very enjoyable. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. It's good stuff. Yeah, we can do that too. I mean, just blame James. You thought you're gonna get away with it, but you didn't. What happened to my music? Let's go back to my music. There we go. So yeah, I mean, I'm smoking this with you guys. I just wanted to kind of share the information with you guys. Obviously, right now the package is just cellos, but damn, this thing looks good. Cellos. Props to Nolo because he had to bend these individually. He had to bend these individually, and then he had to put in the cello individually. It's a lot of work. Customize the text. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally fine with the meme. Even though like during the weekend, sometimes they kind of take over the whole page, but then we don't have so we don't have that much thing going on Sundays, so I don't really mind that. I don't even think that it takes over the whole entire thing during the weekdays. So, you know, whatever works. Whatever works. I'm okay with it, though. I'm okay with it. Let's see. Let me see what's going on with this. They do. I mean, they don't kind of cover the entire thing. They don't kind of cover the entire thing. Let me see. Let me see. I mean, today we kind of have quite a few. Today we have, what, 5 or 6 of them. But then again, spread between 3 or 4 people. That's not too bad. Let's see. Yeah, there's that. I'm scoring down. I only see 2 so far, and I got 3 now. 4, 5, 6. Okay, 7 today. All right, 8, 9, 10. All right, today we'll have a little bit more than usual. We'll have 10 today. Let's limit the meme to like 6 a day. 10 is a little bit too much. Even though I didn't even notice. I just read them, so. 11. Oh, 11. Alright, 11. Alright, 12. Okay, 12. 12. And that's last night. I'm pretty sure that's last night, so. It's a good cigar. It's a good cigar. I'm glad this one made it to us. But anyways, let me see how many we have right now so we can get an accurate count on that. Alright, so log in. People, you know, some people is having an issue with the website today. I didn't have any issue, so I'm not sure. It is a good smoke. If it's bad smoke, I would have tossed this already. No. No. Even if you send it to me, I'm not gonna wear it. Alright. You guys know that you guys can go back to edit your post, right? So, you know, instead of putting another post, get them the count a little bit whacked, just go back and edit your post. Okay, so now I'm gonna get a calculator. Calculator. Oh, of course. Calculator. Alright, let me see how many. Because last night, my wife counted. She said 202. So let's see. 5, 3, 3, 5. Okay. And then 3, 5, 6, 5, 5, 5, 6, 4, 20. 3. It did show up, right? Yeah, it did show up. So skip that. 10, 4, 10, 10, 10, 2, 5, 3. 2, 5, 3, 10, 3, 2, 5. 5, 10, 3, 2, 5, 5, 5. 10, 3, 2, 5, 2, 3. 3 5s. 1, 2, 3. 5, 5. 4. 5, 5. 10, 5. Oh shit, we might not have enough. What the hell? 5, 5, 10, 5, 3, 5, 5, 2, 5. 5. So we're at 279 right now. 279 right now, and I have 6 here. So we're at 285 right now. 285 right now. You have 210 left. That's not a lot. That means 20 people can order 10, or 40 people can order 5, and that was it. Because I need more for myself. I haven't done that yet. Keep in mind, I know A75 isn't what we originally thought it's gonna be, how cheap it's gonna be, but the size of the band and everything, you gotta know, it does cost quite a bit of money, especially when you go multiple die change and size change and all that stuff. Original band, I think, was originally designed was probably like this small. We're smoking our new cigars, James. We're smoking our new cigars. So when you go from this size to this size, it changes a lot. So you know, it can, yeah, that's a huge change. So, but yeah, unfortunately, we can't do too many, because we do too many, then you know we have so many sitting around, and then we have to go back and forth a lot. But I don't think 500 is too small either. You know, it's just about everybody get a chance to have it, and that's pretty much it. You know. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about difference between $1 to, I mean, how do I do that? If $1 increase, it's only $5 increase for fiber, right? It's about two. I'd say about it's $2 increase. It's about $10 more to get it for 5. That's actually not too crazy. Especially, you know, you guys know the amount of effort that's gone into this, so. Can we keep the template and just change the word for the future cigar? Sure, we could. What happens, I have the actual file, so I can actually work on that. But I don't want our cigar look the same, you know. I wanted to change it every time, but maybe just change the hat band color. You see how right now it's white on here? We can just change that color for different cigars. I don't know. It won't change. It won't help with the cost. What happened is you have a mold and you have a die cut, and then you have to print through it. Well, actually, yes, you will. If you go through the same people that's making the same band. So that means every time we make the band, we'll have to go through that same company, which I don't think is a good idea. And then we'll have to change a lot of color, but then changing the color will add, actually, no, because if you change the words on it, you had to change the dye on it. So they cut out specific thing to press the gold on top of it. So when you change the word, they need to carve an entire new one just to change the word on there. So yeah, I didn't think about that one. So if you just change the word Voyage on it and then change to something else, you had to change the dye entirely. So yeah, can't do that. So yeah, we can do similar, but they will have to cut the dye anyway. Hey Freddy, how's Bergie? Who's Freddy? Who's Bergie? What? Who's Bergie? I have no idea what that is. Well, Martina Maya is not on here to kick him. Let me see if I can do something about that. I have no idea who they are. Who's We'll do that for now. See, this is the part I don't get. So what my wife tends to play, the game, right? Online, there's a chat room for the game for people who's waiting for the next game, and they always have some sort of kids that they're kids because they're talking about the dumbest thing. Not usually talking about like, your mom is blah blah blah. I think yesterday there was one that my wife just all of a sudden burst out laughing and says, "Your mama is so fat, her diet is called ragu," or something like that. Her diet is called ragu or something like that. I don't know. And she just burst out laughing. I was like kids can't just play game. When they play game, they have to, like, if you're not playing the way they want it, they call you noob, even though you guys are playing the same ranking. Like, if we're noob and you're playing the same ranking, that makes you a noob. So I don't understand, like, why did I always get so angry? It's a video game. Calm down. All right, you gotta have sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Calm down. All right, and they have to. Oh, really? Well, they should know that this is 18 plus chat, so you shouldn't be here if you're not 18. Get out. But like if you get the idea, is like, why do they always have to say? Like, if you're adult, the stuff they say no longer matters. They always attack your mom and then say you're noob. Usually it's a combination of sexual explicit swears. And then you go like, once you're adult, you don't care about that kind of stuff. And the fact that you have to use those string of sexually explicit words, that just kind of make you like sound like a virgin, right? It makes you sound like someone that never had sex before. which means you're either a kid or a really, really sad adult that's sexually frustrated. And like, I feel bad. Right? If you're that young, I feel bad for you that you feel the need to play video game and get so frustrated that you start bitching at other players for no reason. Okay? For no reason. Just play the game. The game is supposed to be entertainment. Just let it be. So, with that said, Twitch, you watch a lot of video games and whatever because your life is that bored. Okay? So you enjoy watching other people's video games. You know, we're kind of different. We enjoy to hear each other talk about cigars so that we know what we should expect when we smoke. Now, you come up and start saying random stuff that really had nothing to do with any topic whatsoever. Like if you come up and ask some sort of legitimate question, that's one thing. But you come up with just simple troll, thinking that you gotta get kicked out and start laughing. Thinking that you have to come up and throw something and get kicked out and then laugh about that. Your life is pretty boring. Your life is pretty boring. Rather than go play a video game, go smoke a cigar, go enjoy a bourbon, or go enjoy the presence of your friend, you felt like it was fun to troll a page just to have a laugh. Kid, if you're watching this, and I hate to use this line because I sometimes I don't feel like people have an issue with that, but I think you have a serious issue, and you need to go get a drug called Get a Life. All right, Get a Life, and if you're sexually frustrated, either is due to erectile dysfunction or whatever, there is medication for that. All right, all you had to do was go to a doctor and say, hey, I have a problem. I may need that blue pill. That might help you out. But if you can't get a girlfriend, that's a different story. All right. Maybe instead of trolling, you should try a little bit different thing called dating. That could get you a girl. September, ubiquitous internet started with AOL. I never had a problem with AOL. But then, when AOL came out, it was like high school, so. Tell my kids all the time our public has failed us. It's just like, couldn't you find something more fun to do? Instead of like sexually insult some person, go have some fun. Go try to date. Alright, I know kids don't have a lot of money sometimes, but there are a lot of things that you can go on a date that's free. Go to a park, it's free. Alright? Go to a park, it's free. Go meet a girl at her house, it's free. Just make sure the father and the mother is okay with you, Fake it until you make it. Alright, kid? If you're still on here, fake it until you make it. Be polite. Look educated. Don't use any of those words. Do not use any of those your mama jokes. Doesn't work that well. Okay? Doesn't work that well. Don't talk about your video game. Don't talk about your toys. Talk about future dreams of how you gotta make $1 million. The parent will love you. Okay? The parent will love you. Don't try to vape in front of them. The parents don't care if you can vape a circle and shoot an arrow through it. That might be cool to the girl, but it's definitely not cool for the parents. Okay? And then maybe you will score. And then you won't have to be frustrated and use that kind of word ever again. Ever. Alright? Relax. Chill. I really don't understand why people have to troll, because it doesn't make sense to me. Like, what kind of fun do you get out of trolling? If you want to troll, what I think a justified troll will be, have more knowledge of something more than someone else, so you can tell them off. That's troll. All right, that's much better. have more knowledge. Like, we're talking about cigars, and then you jump in to troll about how certain cigar is better than another cigar because there's so much information. That's totally fine. But you come to this chat and troll about Plume, you only get one sentence before you get kicked out. That's not fun. If you want to troll, make sure you can get like 3 or 4 sentences through. But if you only get one sentence through and then you get kicked, what? You know? No point. There's no point. You gotta have better skills, I guess. Trolling skills. Learn the trolling skill from James or Jeff. James and Jeff troll each other all day long, and they will not have to stop. They can continue like all day long, and that will make everybody else around laughing. You know, people around will laugh, and the person who's streaming might be saying like, all right, keep them because they're funny. Keep them because... I still remember the first troll we got from our stream was about was it ostrich racing, something like that? Ostrich racing. That was funny because that guy had a story. All right, that guy had a story. Don't come in and troll a line that doesn't even make sense. Why? Troll with some story. Yeah. If you're funny and you had a good story, I allow you to stay. If you don't have a story, work on it, man. These 2 trolls, noobs. Noobs. Definitely noobs. Try to troll me. Everybody in this chat room existed before the term troll came out. You guys are too young, too slow. If you were trying to troll us. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think everybody here existed before the word troll came out, or even noob came out. So, if anybody, we are experts at it. We are expert at trolling. Plus, we survived the Cigar Daily Nation troll. If we can sustain 10 Cuban cigar fake Cuban cigar posts a day, we can survive anything. 10 Cuban cigar a day. Now, I think why I'm smoking this, that's a good question. The people in the chat room. What is your opinion about telling your friend whether or not their cigars are fake? Do you tell them? Or do you leave them? Well, I mean, not leave them, but leave it as is. Tell them, right? Because I've seen few posts in our group where it's like they show the picture, and usually 1 out of few obvious fake, right? Obvious, like so obvious that you knew the reason they posted is because it was easy to tell. Now, I have to say props to everybody in the group that literally just say, yeah, just tell your friend, I'm sorry. Nobody tried to flame them for not being able to tell. My opinion is this: if you went to a place that you buy 1 obvious fake, expect the rest of them is fake. Right? Yeah, tell your buddy, tell your friend, that be a true friend, so that they don't spend. You know, imagine if you don't tell them. If you don't tell them, they're like, yeah, I got my source on Cubans now. I got my source, and then they'll go out and they'll buy more. They'll buy more. They'll continue to buy because you didn't tell them. They didn't know. They just think that if my friend who smokes cigar didn't tell me it's fake, they must be fake. So. Right? They must be fake. That's the key. If you have one that's fake, they probably get the rest from the same distributor. So they being the same distributor, most of them are gonna be fake. So what I will tell them is, don't buy them from that distributor anymore. Who's Kevin? Do we even have a Kevin? I'm okay with that, but this one didn't have a story either. Get out. I don't know who that is. I just banned him. If that was somebody that we know, let me know. Oxymoron. I didn't know who that is, so. But I banned him because he didn't have a story. If you gotta troll this place, make sure you have a story. Yeah, it was too late. I already clicked. If somebody we know, I'll unban them later on. But it's not somebody we know, then whatever. Yeah, and so that's why you had to tell them. If you don't tell them, they don't know. Right? They just go over there, say, see Cuban cigar, they assume that's Cuban because they might have never seen a real one before. They might think that's how it's supposed to be, you know, thinking Cuba, their quality might not be, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, that's what it is. You give it to a friend that smoke all the time and gladly accept it and say, all right, thanks so much, then they wasted the money. And next time they might bring up the same gift and you're like, oh, man, he just wasted more money on it. It doesn't even make sense. So don't do that. Tell them. I will literally tell them to their face. I'll be like, dude, you bought a fake one, don't buy it from again. Yeah, I mean, it's like tough love, you know. That way, next time they don't have to make a fool out of themselves. You don't want your friend to make fool out of themselves, especially when they try to bring it to like a public event or something like that, where they go, "Hey, I got some Cubans. There you go." And then people who actually smoke it like, "Nah, sorry guys, these are fakes." So you wouldn't want to do that. It's just like, no, these are. You don't even have to use the word real. It's like fake. You just say, "Hey, this is not authentic. This is not real." Don't use the word fake because sometimes fake can get them out on the defensive right away. It's not. There's multiple ways to get it. I don't support the way to get it online because the way you get it online is risky. Because let's say you get a box from Swiss or Hong Kong, whatever. If something's wrong, you have to send the entire box back. And majority of the time, you might not think that there's something wrong, but you know, it did go through a long travel. That's not controlled by you. You talk about 2 weeks, 3 weeks in transit. 2 weeks, 3 weeks in transit. You trust your cigars to run around in this 80, 90 degree, even 100 degree weather 2 weeks in transit? Would you do that to your cigars at home? Just leave it out 3 weeks in 100 degree weather. Now tell me you'll do that to your cigars. Then yeah, obviously then there's no argument, right? I wouldn't leave my cigar out there 20% humidity, and the next day might be 90% humidity in the rain at 100 degrees weather. You still gotta trust the quality of that cigar. Like, I will worry whether or not the bug is just gonna decide to hatch after I receive it for a few days. Obviously, they don't hatch overnight. It will take a while for them to hatch, but when the condition is good, it will hatch, and then you ruin the rest of your cigars. Hey, we have another person. Hey, Raid Void Crypt. Hope you're not a troll because I've been kicking out trolls. So, not that it bothers me. It doesn't really bother me. So yeah, if you think about that, it doesn't make sense to get Cubans online and then having to do that. Brendan made sure Greg bought the box into the shop yesterday so it didn't sit in his truck for fuel. Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't like you if you don't even trust yourself to leave a box of cigar in the 100-degree weather for 1 day. Why will you trust it to leave it for 2 weeks? That doesn't make sense, right? You see what I mean? That doesn't make sense. Especially doing transit. Doing transit, oh, thank you. Thank you for dropping by. I mean, we're talking about cigars, so I don't know if you smoke cigar too. If you do, welcome. If not, stay for the chat. We're talking about random stuff. So, think of it this way. When you buy something and it goes through transit, it flew by, right? Once it flew by, it goes through an airplane. And they put it in the very bottom. The airplane does not heat it or pressurized. So your cigar is going through some serious cold weather. I mean, if you've never seen it before, I've had like eye drop in my luggage. By the time I arrive overseas in Asia, it freezes. Okay, so it freezes, it lands to the and then gets transit to the local place. So usually it lands somewhere in LA or Chicago. You gotta get crazy weather, 100 something degrees or 90 something degrees. And then they might flew it to the next place again. Freezes again. Goes back down. Another huge change in temperature. Go back, sub-zero, freezes again. Go down, 100 degree again. You do that for 2 weeks. Total Biscuit emo. What's BTTV? I don't know what that is. Right? You will trust that? That kind of transit to your humidor? 2 weeks later? I don't know. And now a lot of people's got to tell you that they're totally fine, but... You know what I'm saying? Like, you are gonna get through that big change in temperature, and even food will rotten at that time. Even food, like canned food, will go crazy at that time. Like, you know, by then, you're talking about some serious change in temperature. Up and downs, you gotta lose some serious flavor on it already. Do I think if a Cuban become legal to sell here will hurt manufacturing and retail? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't think it's gonna change anything. If Cuban become, it's just like another cigar. Okay. Let's say this way. Okay, how many of you regularly buy undisclosed filler cigars? Undisclosed blend cigars. How often do you guys buy that? Undisclosed blend cigars. The reason they are undisclosed, majority of the reason is because they are Cuban cigars. Okay, majority of the reason they are because they are Cuban cigars. All right, they're using Cuban leaves or whatever. They cannot disclose it, so they undisclose it so they can sell it. A lot of time that's the reason. If you don't even care for those, and they have it here, why will you care for all that? You know, you might buy a few Cuban here and there, but to start with, they are premium in price. Premium in price. I don't think any cigars in the regular market compete with those. compete with those. Once it gets over here with tax and everything, you're looking at $20 a cigar. Am I mad lad for trying to load up Twitch on my Wii U? I don't know, because I don't play with the Wii U. Wii U is like 10 years ago kind of stuff. I don't play with that. So, but if you like Twitch a lot, why don't you just have like a tablet or something like that? Why do you need to put it on Wii U? I don't know. So, if you don't even battle with those, I mean, regular cigars isn't gonna fight the market with them. Because you're not gonna spend regularly $20, $30 a cigar, regularly. Okay, and if you already smoked Cuban, why would you go out of your way to buy it more expensive? Because you already have your way to get Cuban cigars. You wouldn't go out of your way to buy those. The only reason that you'll buy those is if you're giving it to a friend, a holiday or something like that. But your friend will probably tell you they prefer a certain cigar more. So rather than having that, you know, Cubans might not do that. And calculating all those things they had to go through with the FDA and stuff, the price is going to shoot right through the roof. So maybe you're looking at, what, $30, $40 a cigar? The size of a Corona. 175. Yeah, I don't think they will. So I don't think it's gonna change the market that much. In fact, if anything, I think there will be more new smokers. All right, there'll be more new smokers who will buy those because they are here now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, almost like China, they have their own cell phone. All of a sudden, iPhone got imported and that became a regular thing there. They have more new people buying iPhones, but people who already have iPhone don't care. Right? So it's the same idea. People who already smoke here isn't gonna care all that much, but the new smoker will think that, oh, it's a unicorn, whatever. And maybe a few of us will go buy one or two to try if you never tried it before. And then once you tried it, you're like, ah, it's not worth that kind of money. It's not worth that kind of money. So once you get that knowledge and experience, it becomes something normal, and I don't think it's gonna fight the market that well. And I think that is one of the reasons why the Cuban cigar market didn't try to fight their way through. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's the reason why Cuban cigar didn't fight their way through. Because I'm pretty sure there's more than enough loophole to do that. But they didn't fight it. Why? Because the rest of the world has Cuban cigars. The rest of the world. You can go to any country that sells cigar and find Cubans. From visiting parent in Canada had crazy tax. Yeah. So I didn't think it was that crazy of a deal. So even if you can legalize here, I don't think much is going to change. People who smoke Cuban will continue to smoke Cuban, and I think majority of the time they will worry about the pricings. And if they worry about the pricing, they will still buy it in the old way that they used to do it without tax, or just travel. Without traveling. Well, if they travel. And the rest will still just smoke the same way. Just smoke the same way. Really, I just really think that's the case. There's plenty of blends out there that we already love. Right? That we already love. Some Cuban cigars sell out fast even here. I mean, if you go to like Switzerland and stuff like that, there's cigars everywhere. I mean, nobody cared. Nobody cared. I really think that is the unicorn effect, that, you know, people can get it, so they rush to get it. But once they get it, it's not that big deal. Do you know what I'm saying? Once they have it, they might not even smoke it, and they might not even buy one. So it'll be like a one-time thing, like a gag gift almost. You know, you buy one time and never again. I think that'll be majority of the time. That's gonna be like that. I have that swear that Cuban. You mean you have friends that Cuban buy cigar types come in? Now see, that's a problem. If you smoke a cigar and you're close-minded, you're not gonna get the full effect, full enjoyment of the cigar. That's like saying that you're a hamburger aficionado, but you refuse to eat hamburgers in Japan because you think the Angus burger is the best. You know what I'm saying? An aficionado or a true fanatic will be willing to try something good and bad. Right? Nothing's gonna stop them doing it. If you don't try them, you're missing out. There shouldn't be any convincing. I mean, yes, everybody's palates are different. And because everybody's palates are different, you need to try a different palate. If you don't try, you wouldn't know. It's just like you can be a hot sauce fan, and you say because you eat the best hot sauce in the world, you will not try any other hot sauce to see if they were better or worse. Except for Cohiba limited editions, Cuban cigar are not more expensive than a non-Cuban here in Europe. No. We're talking about, well, maybe in Europe because you guys pay so much import tax. But over in America, we have cigars that's from $2, $3, $4 and up. And majority average, I think, is about $8. $8 is the average cigar cost. So, you know what I'm saying? There's a difference. There's a difference. And I will argue any day that the quality is much different. The quality, in fact, the build quality and the age quality, I think the Nicaraguan and Dominican cigars are better. I have so many Cuban cigars that I just hate the draw. I hate the draw. You know, I hate the draw. So, you know, it really depends. It really depends. I will argue the build quality on Cuban cigars. Okay, that it's not that I have anything against Cuban cigars. I do smoke Cuban cigar when I travel, but yeah, that's because I can't find any other cigars. I will smoke Cuban cigar when I travel. But you gotta know, quality is really up to the person who's rolling the cigar. So here in Europe, I pay the same price for H. Upmann and for Drew Steak. Well, that's because, like I said, you're in Europe. You're in Europe. That's why. You're in Europe, you're paying some serious tax on American cigars. That's why. Cuban far is incomparable any other cigar. Now, see, that's just close-minded. You're talking about people who over here who smoke non-Cuban and Cuban regularly, and a lot of us can tell you that there's draw issues for Cuban cigars. All right, there's draw issue in Cuban cigars. I'm not trying to convince him to smoke other steak, but the statement that Cuban is the best. Yeah, Cuban is definitely not the best. Cuban is just like, you know, you're talking about the difference between Cuban and Nicaraguan and Dominican or even Honduran cigars. What's the difference? It's like eating Mexican food, Chinese food, Japanese food, Korean food. That's only different. The blends are different. All right? Where the seed came from is different. The material might be different. But rolling, the construction, it depends on the person who's rolling it. And when you're rushing to pump up so much cigar to make the dictator happy, you're not gonna worry about like draw qualities. A lot of company over here actually test their draws, I'm pretty sure in Cuba they don't have that machine. They don't use that machine to test every single drop because they want to pump it out as fast as they can. Okay, and that's the difference. That's a huge difference. Okay, I will argue that any day. I'll argue that any day. Cuban does not care about quality. Cuban does not care about quality. That's for sure. That's for sure. All right, you have few that's limited, like the Casa de Habano version of those cigars. Yeah, they're kind of slightly better in quality, but those are through the roof in prices compared to like a standard, like say Camacho, right? A standard American Camachos, or maybe even a standard Davidoff. All right, even a standard Davidoff probably have better draw quality than a Cuban. I mean that you can easily compare that by just going to get Davidoff in your local state. Or country, Europe. So you can go to Europe and Davidoff, get a regular standard cheapest Davidoff that you can find, probably like Signature 2000 or even a Churchill, a Winston Churchill, and smoke that, and then just pick a random Cuban, and then try to smoke that at the same price range. At the same price range. I'm not talking about you gotta go get the La Casa de Habano version of something where you pay $60 for one stick or $40 for one stick. You buy a regular Davidoff for I don't know $20, and then you pick up a $20 stick at a regular Cuban. You draw them. You cannot say Cubans are better. That there's no way. American will not buy cigar when the quality is not what they're used to. So to sell legal Cubans in U.S. is very long. Quality has improved. Yeah, not only that, all the imported Cuban will have to sit there for years. For years. All right. This is the problem with the first-time Cuban cigar smokers. They will pick up a brand new box of Cuban cigar, not age them and smoke it, and they got this thing tastes like crap. Because they don't age enough. They didn't get enough time to sit. They roll, pump it out. They roll, pump it out. That's it. They don't have that much time, to sit and rest. Let the leaf have enough, humidity and everything to perfect that cigar. It just doesn't happen. It's not happening. So, but then again, in the end, it's all if that makes you happy, you think that Cuban is the best that you can ever get, then it is what it is for you. But I'm telling you that over in the state, in America, I enjoy the cigars here. I enjoy the cigar here. I can buy Cubans any day, anytime. Literally, I can buy that next week in stores. But when it comes to buying the boxes, I got crap load of American cigar versus Cuban because I don't particularly like Cuban all that much. I didn't think it's anything special. I didn't think it's anything special. I didn't think there were any better quality, and it definitely cannot smoke them as soon as I get them home. Right? Definitely don't want to smoke them as soon as I get them home because they had to sit there for a while. Okay? And they're very temperamental. They're more likely to have cigar beetles than any of the cigar in America. They're more likely to mold than any cigar in America. So it really depends on the person who's smoking it and what the person prefer. I don't particularly like Gurkha, but there are people that says Gurkha is the best cigar in the world. Are they wrong? To each his own, right? I can say some other cigar. I can say the Voyage cigar is the best one in the world, but that's just to me. So it depends on the person. It depends on the person who feels like certain things are better than the other. We all have our favorites. We don't have to agree with each other. So if you think Cuban are the best construction, best flavor by all means, then yeah. Here at Davidoff Series R is much more expensive than H. Upmann or Raymond Alon's almost the Cohiba Ciclo price. It would be mad to choose Davidoff. I don't think every single Cuban cigars are freezed, so I can give you a definite answer to that. But yeah, I mean, Davidoff Series R is actually not one of their cheap stuff, obviously. But you compare it to, Cohiba Siglo. I mean, Cohiba Siglo is like, to us, probably the most basic Cohiba to get. So if you're comparing Davidoff Series R to a Cohiba Siglo, I don't know. I don't know if that will be a fair comparison. Do you guys in the chat room, that would be a fair comparison to compare a Davidoff Series R to a Cohiba Siglo? I don't know. Over here, Series R is not that expensive. And Cohiba Siglo is about $20. So, but it's that, you're talking about basic Cohiba versus mid-end Davidoff. High-end Davidoff is about $30 in the Vault series. So you can tell. You can tell there's a huge difference in prices. Again, Davidoff over here is considered a premium cigar. A cheapest cigar is probably about $18, $20. But we're talking about like Drew Estate at $8. Huge difference. Huge difference. $4 Cuban, at least 2 to 3 cigars out of the box are bad, but they're exorbitant. Yeah, sure, I agree with that. I mean, Bahique, then you're comparing Bahique, why you compare that with Xenos? Most people here isn't gonna spend $100 to buy a cigar. $100 in America buys your box of cigars, not one cigar, box of cigars. Well, close your box of cigars, right? I mean, some cigars are so cheap you can't even buy in New York because it was so cheap. That's the problem. Okay, so the price comparison might be skewed at your country, we're in Europe, than us. For us, $100 can buy your box of cigars. Alright, when I spend $800, I get entire box, that entire paper box, 24 by 24 size box of cigars. That's a lot of cigars. So, $1,000 to a Cuban cigar store probably won't buy you all that much. It buys me maybe 2 to 3 boxes. Like cigars. Like these. Okay? So, this is probably what, $300 already? So $3 of this, you're $1,000. So compared to us, we get quite a bit of cigar for $1,000. $1,000 gets you 3 or 4 boxes of these. Depends which country. I buy them in Japan, so we pay crazy tax for it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a fair comparison because Davidoff local doesn't charge that much tax. If Cuban will be legal in the US, Cohiba won't really get cheaper. There are only so many boxes goes around, they will continue to be rare. I don't think they're gonna be rare. I think they're gonna be more expensive. More expensive than before because all the import, all the tax, all the FDA, whatever regulation they had to do, all the tariffs. Yeah, they will be paying arm and a leg for that and translates the price to you guys. So it's gotta be more expensive. It's gotta be more expensive. I mean, knowing that how many people buys Cohiba overseas right now, and Cohiba continues to be able to sustain the distribution, I don't think it's gonna change that much. Same people is gonna buy it. Same people, the same kind of people is gonna buy it. It's James. Same people is gonna buy it. Okay, so that makes a difference. So in terms of comparison, yeah, you might compare, non-Cubans with Cuban, the same price range, but for you guys, the price range is heavily skewed compared to us because we pay very little for cigars. All right, everybody in this chat room can tell you that Punch Egg Roll, which costs $4 a cigar, are super awesome cigar, and I probably beats a lot of Cuban cigars out there. All right, if you think that Agro could be one of the best cigar of the year, and might be most some of the Cuban cigars. Type 1. Type 1. Wash the whole screen with 1. Let this guy know that $4 cigar can easily be an 18. If you like Agro and you think that Agro can be a Cuban cigar in your wallet, type 1. Alright, you get an entire box of 25 Agros for $90 here in the US. In value, that kicks Cubans' ass any day. That kicks Cubans' ass any day in value. Alright. If you never smoke if you're in Europe, you probably never tried it before, but Agro, bar none, one of the best cigars for the year. Alright, like, there's no argument. Alright. $90. You gotta go get a box of quality Cubans. $90. I'm talking about box of 25. Box of 25 for $90. Corona sized. Try to get a box of 25 Cohiba Siglo at $90. Cuban. So yeah, again, that's based on the person who's trying it, based on the person who's smoking it. Hey, Garth, what's going on? So it makes a huge difference. So when you compare, you had to compare local versus export. So your country, they tax cigar like crazy. So that's what I'm saying. Well, for us, Cuban are so inflated in price that we didn't think that is justified the quality and the amount that we're paying for. You see what I'm saying? Even if you buy local. Okay, so for us, we had to compare that. And also for us who bought boxes of Cubans, we get quite a bit that has draw issues. We get quite a bit that's draw issues. And having draw issue for Cubans is not news. You can easily search online and people will tell you that Cubans have draw issues. So quality issue was not a myth. Now you might be the lucky one that never had problems. I'm not saying that there won't be, statistically there won't be anybody who buy Cuban and never have problems. Okay, there are people who never have problems. But for people like me, I buy quite a bit and I always have problems. I buy quite a bit. Okay, so I know there's a problem. And people over here in the chat room, some of them smoke Cuban regularly too. They have a lot of Cubans sitting in the house and they have issues too. So in terms of quality, there's always quality issue. You know which one has the most quality issue for me? Multi Crystal. Multi Crystal has the most quality issue for me. Every time I buy Multi Crystal in the entire box, probably half the box has draw issues. Half the box has draw issues. H almond usually doesn't give me draw issues. H almond is pretty good. Cohibas are okay. Probably 1 in 10 or 2 in 10 will have issues for me. And it depends. Nicaraguan tobacco, if it's not at least 30% cheaper, I can't read that entire chat, so I have to go to the thing and check out the chat. Hold on a second. Because the chat gets cut off when you type a lot, so let me get to the chat so I can read it. All right, so. But the local market, Cubans and non-Cuban has the same price. I'm not taking in consideration Nicaraguan tobacco. It's not at least 30% cheaper than a similar sized Cuban. Over here it is. significantly. So, you know, like I say, over there, it might have that issue, but look at the chat room. All right, majority of the people have Cuban smoking issues. All right, majority of the people, and it could be because you like tighter draws, so you think that that's perfect for you. For me, I like absolutely loose draw. If no resistance, best. Okay, for me, that's for me. I like to take large draws, so I don't like tight or even medium draw. So anything higher than that, I call that draw issue. So for you, you might like tighter draws, you might not. So it depends on the person too. It depends on the person too. But I think I can, you know, any of the chat room that I go to, I can find majority of people said, you know, at least in America, majority of people said Cubans have draw issue, then not. All right, so your comparison works for you, but it doesn't work for us, because for us there's a huge price difference, huge. All right, when you talk about 30%, we're talking about 30%. I'm talking, like I just told you, egg roll is a $4 cigar, $4 cigar. Do you have a Cuban cigar that you can buy for $4? That's more than 30% difference, right? Cuban Corona cigars for $4. And branded too, not non-branded, not I'm not talking about budget bundles. I'm talking about branded cigars. Right? So again, the comparison is different from people to people. So people to people, and obviously at your location things might cost certain way. For us, things cost very different. So when we are paying $18-20 for a cigar, we expect perfect draw, we expect perfect burn, we expect, you know, there. I do smoke Chinese cigars. Before I don't, because people mentioned it, so I want to get Chinese cigars. So I do smoke Chinese cigars. I actually talked about Chinese cigar in one of my streams. Yeah, some of these members over here has one Chinese cigar for me. So yes, we do smoke Chinese cigars. That's weird, Ricker. That's a different question than how the Chinese cigar got into this conversation. Chinese cigars are good. Well, it depends what you buy, but there are good ones, there are bad ones. William is one that got quite a bit of Chinese cigar for me. But Chinese cigars are good. There's nothing wrong with it. And it depends on person to person and stuff like that. And I never had draw issue with Chinese cigars, just so you know. I never had draw issue with Chinese cigars for some reason. They're all loose. They're all loose. You know, you can always buy the Wangguan with gray walls. They're pretty good. But then again, you had to go to China to buy it. You gotta go to China to buy it. Here we have benefit of price that's fixed. No one can jump up the price higher just because the... Well, yes, James, the price are fixed. No one can jack up the price higher is because the price is already higher. Right? The price is already high. That's why, you know, there's no need to jack them up because they're already high. Any higher, it wouldn't even make sense. But like the Razvan already said, you know, he can't find any cigar in his place for €4. I'm talking about $4, which is only a few cents lower than €1 nowadays. So, you know, there is you pay €16 for a Andalusian bowl. That's pretty cheap actually. Because we do have inflated price now. Euro. That's actually a MSRP here. I think it was $16 to $17 MSRP. So originally it was that price. But after local tax for B&M, you're looking at 20 something, almost 30 bucks. That's how much how much they are taxed in Massachusetts. They went from 16 to 20 something, almost 30. So yeah, they're but then again, you can find a Lutheran bowl over here. It's kind of rare. It's hard to find. Everybody cop them right away. No one waits for that one. They just buy it right away. You're smoking the bowl right now. I don't know. Bowls are good though. Bowls are heavy though. I don't know if it's something that I will enjoy on a Sunday afternoon. Bowls are heavy. Bowl deserve time, enjoyment slowly, and a nice bourbon to go with it. Like if you gotta do bowl, you gotta give its respect because it's not an easy cigar. It's not an easy cigar. You want to take time on it. You don't want to puff on it. You'll get sick right there, halfway through, maybe 1/3. You're like, oh my god, what am I doing? Bowls are good, just not everyday cigar though. Not everyday cigar. Even if I afford it, it's not everyday cigar. I eat first. I always eat first. If I don't eat first, I get sick every time. I always eat first. It's a good cigar, of course. How can it be bad when you have a badass band like that? And we already talked about this. Even William will not pound this thing, even if it's bad. And not to mention, I actually enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it. You know, I was telling everybody, you know, if you don't get it now, you're not gonna have a chance to get it because we already more than halfway through. More than halfway through. If you don't call for it, you're not gonna get it, right, Dan? Pretty sure Dan tried a few of those before, so if anything, he knows how it tastes like. So, but yeah, good cigars, good cigars. Oh, that band is so sexy. Band is so sexy. Why is it backwards? Come on, flip over. Flip over. Here we go. So yeah, anyways, I already gave you guys information on this cigar. And if you gotta change your order, you better go up there and change your order because, oh my god. The band in the bowl is about the same size as Voyage. I will agree with that. That's a really big band on the bowl. And I like that green color too. It's pretty sexy. So I will agree with that. It's probably about the same size. Probably about the same size. Yeah, it's probably about the same size. But that's a big ass sexy band. Pops Van Winkle cigars. I have no idea. I have no idea about that particular one. You just put your order in directly through Nolo. Just go to his house and say, hey, I need some of those. But make sure to give me an accurate count so I know how much is left. We need a few more to save. It's pinned under our new home. So if you go to our new home, you'll be able to order it there. You gotta go to our new home to do it. You gotta be member of the Shadow Smokes Legion to order it. So you gotta go to the new home to order it. Yeah, you're like what 40 minutes, 30 minutes away from him. Just go to him and pick it up. You know, you can stand there and tell him to put new bends on it. Literally, while he's bending that, you're like, I'm just gonna take those. Tradition is Drew Estate. 2 different cigars for Pappy. Pappy Van Winkle. I'm not too sure what cigar is that. Pappy Van Winkle. What did I miss? Oh, those fermented cigars. I think somebody posted that earlier today. Yeah, I had no idea about that cigar, so I don't know. I never tried it before, so I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. I like the box, though. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's good. Huh. Well, anyways, I already put out the information for you guys. I enjoyed the cigar. I am going to hide these, and go back and finish my stuff on Sunday. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the slightly deeper look of the cigar. Make sure to put the information on that new site, the new home, and that's the only place you'll be able to order them, unless you're Dan, who's neighbor. Different story. All right, so yeah, put your order in there. If you gotta change it, don't add another post. Go and edit your post. That way it's easier to count when we go down the list, because I'm gonna make the list. It's kind of annoying how to go back and forth. So all right, so enjoy your day. Be nice, be safe, behave, James, and be saucy. I'll see you guys whenever I see you guys. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye, guys. Where's the